Hi, Brian.
Aaron, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good today. I'm good. Yeah, how are you?
I'm really good, but I have to apologize in advance because they're doing work at the front of my house. They're ripping up the road,
Mhm.
and so my dog is on high alert. So
Okay. If we hear Thor barking, we know it's just to protect you.
that's right.
Okay.
So he might not, but just in case.
He's a good dog.
We are so thrilled today to have Chimere Faulk from Dr.Locs, founder of Dr.Locs with us. Chimere,
I am so excited to see Chimere
oh,
because
oh,
we go
Way
back
back.
a couple of years. Hi, Chimere.
We go way back.
Yes, and we met at the Natural Hair Industry Convention.
hmm
I think you
Yes.
came up to me and you were like, "Hey, Modlocks."
Yes, exactly. I was like, oh my God, this is like, it was so, I love those conventions because you can see people in real life. So, yes,
And we're going to go back to that one day, right?
yes, yes.
with masks.
No, I don't like the masks. At least we don't have to wear masks while we're doing the Zoom videos, right?
You're right.
You see our faces. And so yeah, I mean, when you introduced yourself to me, I was like, this is so special. Like I was so humbled and excited to meet you because you have such a great reputation in our industry and you are an entrepreneur. You are the forefront of of elevating the industry, and we want to hear about your story, and uh, we think that we talked about this, that together we all can do better and be better, right?
And just before
Exactly.
you say anything, I also am so impressed with everything that you've achieved in such a short time,
Mm-hmm.
and your vision is so smart. And I think that the authenticity really shines through as well. I mean, I love how smart you present things. You know, your blogs and everything, and
And your branding is super
Got
on
it.
point.
tight, tight.
That means a lot. You coming
You're an
from you.
inspiration to us.
Wow, that's super, super, super dope. Like I have fun every day. Like this is just my background is creative advertising and I wanted to work in an ad agency and I didn't get hired. I didn't get hired. And my favorite professor, he told me, he was like, just do it. And I didn't really understand what he meant, but now we're still Facebook friends and he's like proud of me because I was like one of his favorite ad students. But it just, to me, marketing is smart. And of course, social media was not existing back when I graduated. So all this is new. And so because my heart is in marketing and advertising, it's intriguing to me as far as how we do it is different. And it's about tribes and having villages, and so what I love is our relationship we've had with Modlocks, because you guys have been supportive since day one, since before, like, a long time. And so it was an honor to meet you in person, Karen, because I still know who the first people that was supporting Dr.Locs, and I'm always humbled because you didn't have to, and it's dope to see you have your own product line. I have Jocelyn Curly Mugo, she has a product line. I'm always, as you know, always supportive and encouraging because I want to see us all grow. Um, so I guess you guys want to know, what do you want to know about, like, where I started, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our listeners, might know a little bit about where you started and how you did, but
Okay.
please share your story.
Okay, so let me go back to way back. No, sir. So I had locks from 1996 to 2007. Rough about almost 10 years, 9 years. And I started locks when I was in high school. There was no Google, there was no Yahoo, there was no YouTube. That wasn't a thing. And so it was basically based on, I worked at a I worked somewhere and I asked people, like, I just got encouragements and words and what product. And it was always like somebody randomly would have a suggestion. That's how we got our information. And so, of course, I went and bought the thing that they told us to buy. There was nothing for locks. And so I ended up with a lot of stuff in my hair. And I grew up from by the beach. So when I would go to the beach, a lot of stuff would rise up to the tip of my hair. And one day I actually saw it and I was in college and it was horrifying. I was like, I just actually have to see it on my way out of the shower. I was like, what in the world? So I ended up spending like hours in the shower trying to get this stuff out. And I did get a lot of it. So then I was so horrified that I stopped.
What was in your hair?
It was something, it was a very professional product. And it's so crazy I can't think of it because I was like searching it for like almost a year. It was like in a jar. It was something very, very high end, and I cannot remember it.
Was it a petroleum-based product?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was not for locks at all. It was very heavy and very thick.
And it was coming out of the surface of your locks then,
yeah,
and you're trying to remove it.
Seeping, like, I mean, when I see product come out that locks, it just looks like pus to me, and it's so ugh. So I got a lot of it out. I mean, that's why I have Dr.Locs. I don't like, it's not necessary. But at that time, I didn't know, as a lot of people that are new coming to the industry, that's where my heart comes in, because I remember how I was as a young person and did not know. And so, and always being kind of bullied into what their perspective is and what they're doing. And, I remember getting screened out on like a Rasta. And I didn't know, so it was just like, it was so much information and so much passion coming from different people. For me, I knew I was different, and I know perming my hair was never a thing. Like I got fussed at because I didn't take care of my permed hair. I thought it would be cool, but then it was like the beginning of me not liking my curls, my natural curl pattern. And I never really knew what that was either. I just wanted to be like my mom, and she permed her hair. I did that, and then my hair that was the beginning. I feel like that's the beginning stages when Black girls perm our hair. That's the beginning stage of not loving your hair, not appreciating your hair, because you want to do something that does not do naturally. And so
I just want to interrupt for just a second. Language is super important. And so just to talk to people who are not POC, to our listeners who don't have textured hair, when you're referring to perm, you're actually referring to perming straight, where when someone has straight hair, when they say perm, they're referring to perming curly. But it's perm means permanent, and that just means we're changing the texture of our hair. So please continue.
Thank you for that. No, exactly. And so big difference. And so my mom got frustrated with me. She's like, do what you want to do with your hair. So I started braiding my hair. I'm going back a little bit. So I braid my hair, and then the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill came out, and that encouraged me to lock my hair. I loved her locks.
And what was the message from Lauryn Hill? What's the message from Lauryn Hill?
It was That Thing and that song, and it was something about the manicure. It was a verse in there. I can't remember, but it was her existence, her and Erykah Badu, their pure existence among other people,
walking their own path.
Yes, and their style. Like it was like it just, I was always a thrift shop girl. Like it resonated with me. And and so I was like, okay, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I put my hair in Bantu knots, and I got in trouble because I went to school with a head wrap on, and I got in trouble. And I came to school with the handbook, and the dean of girls didn't like me because I was always doing my own thing. So she was like, "You're gonna get in trouble." I was like, "It's not in the handbook." And so she sent me to the office, the principal's office, and the principal, he sat me down, and he went in his room, and he called some schools around, and he came back. He said, "Well, none of the other school has a problem with what you're doing. Go back to class." So that whole year, that lady, that was my last year, she hated my guts. Oh my God. And then the next year they put in the handbook that you cannot wear head wraps.
Wow. So all of a sudden it became this political stigma in this, and it wasn't, and then it became that, and
Yeah,
it was like
and I could
on the radar.
I was raised as a Muslim, so I could have said it was religious, but I did never, I never claimed that as my religion. But my dad wanted me to. But I was like, it's because I want to, and
Right.
so I just thought it was funny. So that was 1999, and because I think I started in the year before, and then I wanted to wear head wraps, and so what? Actually, that was my 11th grade year. That was my
What
11th.
let you wear a head wrap at school?
Distractions, state school. Listen, I don't want to go on that.
A whole other topic.
Yeah.
That'll be another show.
Yes, that's another show. So yeah, I went to college, and I ended up being that girl on campus that was doing people's hair. So I would my college roommate, she never came, never showed the first semester, and I had a room to myself. So it literally turned into a salon. And so I would have my door cracked open. I would either be known for the girl that would bleach your jeans. I bleached people's jeans and made it into a funky style. I would sew a dress for you, or I would do your locks or your flat twists. And so it was cool because I liked making money and it was fun. I liked talking to people. So it was cool. And then I ended up doing that like randomly, like locks grew long. But I was saying that first and second year, that's when I noticed I had buildup in my hair and I was doing something wrong. So I ended up washing a lot of it out. And I found this man. He had a beauty supply store, and he told me he was like, "You need to feed your hair." He told me, "Your hair is like a tree; it needs to be fed." Because I stopped doing everything, and so my hair probably was looking really dry. So he had a product line that he was trying to recommend, and I don't think he ever had it, but he was saying it was really good. I've never had access to it, but I ended up just using like an oil. I think it was like Chimere oil back in the day. And I just used that, and my locks was like everyone. That was what I was known for. My locks were so beautiful, and I would cut them up to here, and it would grow. I would just come up to here. I was a bun girl, and I never really twisted my hair or anything like that. So then I graduated, and then didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. But I wanted to work in an ad agency, but they just never would hire me. So I ended up
school for?
Yeah, I went to school for creative advertising.
Right.
And I wanted to make ads, print ads. I wanted to live in New York. But no one hired me. And that industry is pretty tough. It's really particular. They like who they like, they hire their friends, whatever. But I ended up just getting a corporate job. And I would also, during college, would go to my aunt's salon, and my dad made me work in her salon just to get some experience. He saw I was good at that, but I didn't like the business. I didn't like how it was in a rough neighborhood. I didn't like how I was nervous to walk to my car. I didn't like how people would treat it. I didn't like the way they treated my aunt. They would kind of disrespect her pricing, and she just did whatever. And I just was like, I'm going to school. I'm never going to do that. And so it just seemed stressful. And I was like a really sheltered child. So that was like a lot for me. And so when I graduated, I'm now in a corporate job, I was like, yeah, this is not me. This is not me. I didn't understand the corporate conversation, corporate arguments, disagreements. I didn't understand it was really fake to me. And real doesn't mean it always has to be argumentative. It's just, I didn't understand the lingo. And I didn't understand the way they dressed or anything like that. And I just didn't fit well. So I ended up getting laid off, which was a blessing. And I always worked in the gym industry. So I ended up becoming a manager at a gym. And then something hit me. So this is what that drive during my corporate job, I would drive 50 miles to and from work every day. And on this radio station, this woman, Rashawn Ali, in the morning, they would laugh, they would enjoy their life. I had the best laughs every morning. And then I had to drive up and turn the key and walk up to that hellhole. But I remember this one thing Rashawn said: you do what you love, you never work a day of your life. And that changed my whole life. I never heard that. I just heard go to college. So you do what you love, you never work a day of your life. I was like, what? And I'm from Virginia. We're very conservative. They're praying on the radio station. I'm like, they're really living it up. And so now this time, I'm now laid off. I'm working at the gym as a manager. I really hate my life at this point because now as a manager, it's not fun anymore. You know, I'm not showing numbers and stuff. So I remembered that. So I went online and I Googled, I looked on Craigslist at the time and I found a salon that was looking for a stylist. And then I emailed a woman and then she said that I needed to be licensed. I was like, all right, let me go get a license. I went online and I noticed for the natural hair, there was no way to get a license. And this is in 2004, 2005. And I was like, oh man. And I was like, all right, I just got 1 degree. I'm not about to waste another one. So now I'm good. So I went on with my life for a month. And then a month later, she called me back. She was like, are you interested? Because there's a loophole in Georgia. As long as you're not doing any chemical services, you can do locks. I was like, bet. I left that job so quick. I went in and I just sat around. I had no clients. I just walked in and I just started sitting out in her salon, making friends with her clients, getting lunch and stuff like that. And one day she was going out of town. Her clients were like, I love Chimere. Long story short, 5 years later, I'm the manager. I'm training new employees. I'm doing her branding for the salon and all of that. So she had a product line that was designed for natural hair and she used it on locks. So I noticed a trend where it was like, we have these natural products. This is around the time natural hair was booming, 2006. And then it's like, oh yeah, and then locks, you know? And at that time when I started working
to the natural hair, it was still segregated.
yeah, which was amazing because we hadn't had this before. And at this time, right when I started working there, that's when I was actually started combing my locks out. So I never played with this fluffy stuff. So I was so intrigued because I saw my new growth. I said, wow, my hair is amazing. And also doing natural hair full time now, I was like, wow. So I combed my locks out and I fell in love with myself all over again. And I just experimented with my loose natural hair. And so, so then I observed the industry. And as I noticed, people would come in, it was a trend. They would come in, I don't want perm anymore. Okay, cool. And then what are those? Those are locks. Those are locks because there was a misunderstanding about what locks are. People assume that you couldn't style them. You can't wash them. They're stunk. They don't have a job if they have them. So in the salon, those clients that didn't have that understanding, they got educated in the salon. It was a beautiful situation. And they were like, wow. And it was like the most conservative women would come in and be like, you know what, Chimere, I think I want locks. I was like, really, girl? So it was like so amazing seeing them come in. And like, so I noticed the trend where I was like, wow, okay, that people, and then what happened, they'll get locks and then they'll stay there. They never go back. So then me and that salon owner ended our relationship and I started my salon as a natural hair lady in my living room. And so I did not know what the hell I was going to do. I was like, my clients, they came to me. I created a whole salon situation in my living room. I didn't want a salon hop. I just really didn't know. I figured, let me just do web design or whatever. But then my clients really was like, Chimere, we only want you to do our hair. Like, this is like, this one woman told me she would shank me if she think I wasn't going to do her hair anymore. And she said that she didn't care if I was in a back alley on a footstool with a water hose. I'll never forget that. And that was like, okay, I hear you. I am not going nowhere. So I built my clientele that way. And while it was happening, since I don't have her products anymore, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So at this point, I'm now traveling, seeing clients all around the country, people flying me in different places, and people wanted to, I'm creating lock extensions across the country. And like what I do, I'm like, okay, use this product, do this. I'm giving them like their prescription for what to do. And then like, I'm getting calls, Chimere, this has buildup. I know you don't like buildup. What is this white stuff? They don't even know. So it got to the point where I'm like, don't do that. Don't stop using that. No, don't use that. And people like, well, what do we use?
And
And
so that is kind of, I can see where this story is evolving and how that was like the aha moment. Am I right?
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. So listen, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to hear now the birth of Dr.Locs.
Yes.
awesome. Karen, your hair looks super cool today, man.
Oh,
What's going on?
thanks, Brian. I have noggin oil to thank.
What is noggin oil?
You don't know what noggin oil is? I have
No.
a cleanser, a toner, and a moisturizer for my scalp.
And those 3 little roller balls look very cute. What are they?
Great question, Brian. We have Replenish, which is like a light moisturizer for your noggin. We have the Chill, which is for alleviating tension and discomfort to the scalp, especially during tightening services for locks or braids. And Glow is the multi-carrier treatment oil, and it's more of your heavy-duty moisturizer for the noggin. Great for these winter months and great for extra dry scalp.
For parted hairstyles, sectioned hair,
Locks, braids, hair extensions, weaves, twists, anything.
amazing. Looks beautiful and minimal and healthy. So we're back and we're so excited to hear about the actual beginning of Dr.Locs. So
Yes. Yes. So when clients were coming to me, because I would literally sometimes, if they're in front of me, like pat their hand, like, and I'll show them like, this is wrong. So they were like, Chimere, keep telling us no. Like, what are we supposed to use? And I kept hearing that. And I was really trying to use whatever that was out on the shelves. But I noticed it was a lot of products for natural hair, but nothing really focused on the product, on the lock clientele. So I went online and I searched up like different oils that were safe and really good for moisturization. Moisturization was my biggest thing. And this is me not really knowing what I was doing. I just went with what I felt and the thing, my favorite scents and stuff like that. So then I went with my list and I went to a grocery store and I bought, it was like a natural food store, and I went and bought my list. And then I got home and I did not know what I was doing. I went and got water from the faucet and I shook everything up and I was like, here we go. And I started using it on my clients and they were like, this is amazing. Oh my God. And so I was like, cool. Never once was thinking about having it as a product line. I just wanted something for my clients. And so because the previous woman I worked for, she didn't really have a positive experience with having a product line and running a salon. So that kind of like made me nervous about doing that. So I was like, this is just for my clients. And so what was I gonna say? So then what happened, I'll never forget, Miss Brenda came in. It's an older client. I love her to death. She's coming in because, people started wanting they want to buy some. So I was like, you can make this yourself. And they were like, well, that's cute, but we want to buy it from you to me and just make it for me. So I went to Sally's, bought little bottles for $5 and I sold it. Well, I sold the bottles for $5 and made little amounts. So then at this time, Miss Brenda comes and I usually fill on, I know you guys understand, like fill on the client's hair before you go and wash and catch up with them and stuff like that. And I'm talking to the hair too. And I, for the first time in my life, felt locks that were so soft. I was like, oh my, like just a perfect softness. And I was like, Miss Brenda, what have you been doing differently? Didn't think about my stuff. She's like, that stuff that you sold me, girl. I was like, and like she's still talking. And I literally remember saying, like, I zoned out, like I had superpowers, like, oh my gosh. She didn't understand what's going on with me. Now she does. I have her in every vending show. But after that, I decided to solve all the problems that I was having with my clientele. I decided to make this into a business. And so, because I always wanted more than what I was just doing. And so, then, I literally drew out, because I'm visual. So I drew out each bottle, what it would do, what are the benefits, and then I went to work. And like the pre-cleanse, I literally made that on the spot on a client because he had a lot of flakish on his scalp. So I was like, ooh, okay, jojoba oil. Okay, cool. And it was this guy working through me. And then it was like, all right, I got these 5. Okay, cool. Since then, I told my clients, because at the time I also had a part-time job at Apple. And so what I learned from them, which was feedback. A lot of small business owners are afraid to get their feelings hurt by getting real deal feedback. And so I saw how successful Apple was. So I was like, you got to get feedback. So I was like, clients, if y'all want me to be successful, I need you to keep it real with me. Don't kiss my butt. Be real with me. And so they did. I need to deal with mold. Some of the spray tops weren't spraying. So I found a freelance chemist that I told him what my problems were, and then he helped me fix those problems. And I found out the number one stunner was me using the water from the faucet. It's like, yeah. So I learned how horrible that water was. And then I went to work. And then from there, I had to get the hard part out the way, because I'm not a scientist. My heart is in marketing. So once I got that, and I worked through my clients, like I'm using on them, I gave it to them. Tell me what you think. I know that's why they can rave and support me continuously now, because they know they were one of the few people that was there from day one. Mm-hmm. And then after I knew it worked, and I kept on getting amazed by my own work, that's when the fun started happening in marketing. I was like, oh. And it was like, cool, I could be my own ad agency. I could do it. So exactly. That's like my big aha of my life, is that I still drive by ad agency in Atlanta. I'm like, you didn't hire me, but I'm doing my own thing. So
yes. Amazing. Yes. It was meant to be. It was meant to be.
Yes. I love that story. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for
So now you get to the fun part. Okay, so you've done all of the you're doing the work, but also why it works is because you have that passion and that drive, and there's motivation there, and you're solving a problem, which is pretty much exactly how Noggin Oil was born. And then you get to the fun part that you went to school for, which is the marketing and the branding, and you built that up, and then you started to work. Then social media appeared.
Yeah,
right? You started getting Facebook.
I'm not a salesperson. It's amazing, because I'm not a salesperson. I'm just an educator. And so, but my goal in life going forward, and you'll see in the next couple of years, is that to support and help all barbers and hairstylists. But it makes no sense that all these products out on the shelves are not made by hairstylists and barbers.
Good point.
The people that make the product, because we work with the hair. So I will be tapping into that really soon. I'm getting some education right now, or pretty soon. And I'm going to be going ham on this, because I have friends in the industry that are like watching me, and I'm going to be sharing everything on this ride that I've been going through. Because I'm not, it's about collective, for me. So yeah.
So there's really, really good parts of social media that help our businesses, and we get a much wider audience. But I want to hear about the bad part of social media. You both got hacked recently.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I have an interesting perspective on it, Karen, because it's a bummer. It is a bummer. It's frightening. It's creepy. It doesn't feel good. But I like to see the flowers bloom out of it, because I do know there's nothing by coincidence. It freaking sucks. Someone did hack into my account, and then they essentially sent someone, like everyone, I guess, whoever was in my DMs already.
They were phishing.
Yeah, and then they're doing it. And I'm finding out other friends that I've gotten hacked as well. Maybe not by the same hacker, I don't know. But I just feel like this is like helpful for us to really buckle down on our security, with it's a reality. People are out there that just do strange things, but do we have some protection? Also, not to depend on social media fully for your way of, communicating with your community. We have emails. I know people that have created their own app, and I got I don't know what you call it, backlash or backlinked or something, blacklisted on Instagram before. For whatever reason, I ended up having to email or write a physical letter to Facebook 2 years ago for like 2 months. No
Wait,
one
they
could
took a letter from the mail?
Yes,
Where did
I
that
did.
go to?
Because this is our baby. So
Yeah.
I literally, because it's like it wasn't an email, so I was like, I need someone to understand this, because the social media is social. So if someone is excited about Dr.Locs, they're gonna type it in and say, "Hey, girl, go here," but no one can do that. Not even in DMs. No one could type Dr.Locs anywhere for 2 months. And so because I have a bright brain, I just had my ways. I created another site to get to my site. It was interesting, but eventually it got, unlocked, and then they apologized or whatever. So I just feel like this stuff like this, as an entrepreneur, we are, as with last year, we always are ready for that thing. It's like, all right, it's like with double tap. Okay, you got to stay ready. You have to be okay with change. And I always believe in going in the direction that's going to serve you. What will offer you fruit? Okay, so yeah, this guy is not offering me fruit, or girl, whoever they are. So you know what? I'm not going to give them my power. I'm going to go, because guess what? If your tribe is strong enough, they're going to rock with you. They're going to look for you. So sales haven't been affected, thank God. And I am. We're I know we talked about that, creating a new page, and we're trying our best to get it back, but you know what, that's where I'm at. We're all learning.
Yeah.
We're all learning.
And I think it helps that you are an established brand, right? Like, it's definitely more vulnerable for people who haven't gotten to the level that you're at with your business, and they're still growing and trying to get their tribe. You know what I'm saying? I'm on a similar little platform as you. I've been established for over 20 years. My followers, my supporters, they're going to find me, and that's what I said. And as you talk about, it's great to have your brand spread out, not just putting your eggs into one basket, into just Instagram or just Facebook. It's a collective of your integrity to your customers, to your peers in the industry, and they will come back and find you if a hacker comes around and tries to, push some buttons.
Yeah, it's a mindset. Even if my brand was smaller, it's your mindset. As I tell any business owner, you can believe you're going to fail, or you can believe you're going to be successful. So I will poke my chest out far enough to tell you that even if I was smaller, because if you create a good thing, if you create a good service, you create a good, like for me, like I literally did get displaced from that salon. And so there's no ill will or anything, but like my people came looking for me. Like, I want you. So, and I know I have nowhere near the following I have now. And so people know, they were literally I was in the mall, and someone I did not remember, people, like maybe like 3 people, not at the same time, would, Chimere, hey, such and such. And they were, I don't have your number. I need you to get my hair done. So like, that's this energy. It's energy, and I'm always going to take it that way, because that's what it is. It's a fact, and so just if anyone's watching, just to always stay encouraged and understand your mindset. There's a book called Mindset as well. It's really good, but you have to tend to your mindset on anything, because you can do so much. Everything that I pray for is exactly what I'm living in right now. And now I'm changing and think about the other things now that I want to do, because it truly is. And this is a woman that has 2 children, that's raising them with a co-parenting situation. I'm all I have. And so no one can give me excuse as far as, I have kids, or I have, no, you decide.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, I've always said that we are our own worst enemies, and so many people tell themselves defeatist things. Like they tell themselves negative things, and
Can't do this. It's not going to
We
work.
all have that.
And then when something bad happens, if you keep telling yourself positive things, then it's like money in the bank. You can deal with that withdrawal, right? Whatever happens, you got money in the bank. So
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. So it's great to hear that you guys are positive and that you're going to move
We're
forward
doing
and learn.
we're doing our best because we do have those moments. I had those moments too, Karen, and I just had to really demand this is how you're gonna think about it. You know, I had to put my foot down on myself. But I gave myself the opportunity to be sad. Like I think it happened Monday. I was sad all day Monday, all day Tuesday. And I think by the time you got hacked, I was like, okay.
Roll up the sleeves.
Yes. Yes. So
Right. Yeah. There's a book that I've read called Limitless. It's by Jim Quick. And it talks all about your mindset and that as Brian says, we are the ones that are limiting ourselves in our thinking patterns and what we tell ourselves and what we believe is a limit. So definitely my recommendation on the list. Yeah.
yeah.
So okay. What's next for you? What's going on? What's the future of Dr.Locs? Give us a brief.
So we actually have a 7,200 square foot warehouse that's about to be open pretty soon. We've been waiting on the permit for years, for a long time. But expansion. And I've always wanted more products. I've still had those 5 products and we've been doing really well on it. So expansion on employment, expansion on product. I've been, as you do as well, listen to the problems and want to solve those issues. And so my concern has been moisture and color treated locks. And so we plan to solve those this year with our deep conditioner, steamer, color treated shampoo. Like there's 5 more products I've been working on since before last year, and COVID made things slow down a little bit. So, but with more product comes more bottles, more ingredients, and my apartment cannot take anything more. And with the social distancing, I couldn't hire more people. So my team, they've been doing their best, and I'm just been waiting for this warehouse so I can have more staff. And a secret about me, a lot of people probably don't know about, is that I have a love for like changing the look and the feel of corporate America. And so my top number one priority is my internal customers, which is my employees. And so I changed the way I'm designing this warehouse, the way we're structuring it is really like WeWork type of really chill, a really mentally pleasing place to work, and just the way I go about my business. I'm really proud of the people that's ever worked with me. They will put their name down like Chimere. They loved working for Dr.Locs. So that to me is just as important to me as the customers being happy, because I paying my people well. That's just because I loved working at Apple. So I just love the things I learned from them and changing that. And so and just always encouraging people to do what they love to do and their passions and stuff inside work. So, but yeah, that's generally just expansion on the business, having a home finally. And I stopped doing hair last year after COVID happened. And I prayed for this opportunity. I've been doing hair for several years now. And I felt like, okay, I think this is the time that I'm going to stop. Okay. And I was like, all right, let's just do it,
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Divine timing.
That takes courage. It's a big change.
It is, because those are my friends, like my clients. As you guys know, like you grow up with them. They have babies now. You're doing their child's hair and everything like that. But the dope thing is, and it's funny, I said this, I wanted to send myself in a bottle. And so now I've literally do that. So now clients are going to other people, but they have me in a bottle now.
That's a great concept. I love that. Amazing. So speaking of those bottles, are we going to do a giveaway now?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I think all of a sudden, all of our listeners' ears just perked up with what? Giveaway?
Giveaway. Ding, 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 ding.
So let's let's do like we did before. So we'll throw out Chimere, you throw out a question, maybe something from that you've spoken about in our podcast, and the first person to comment in the YouTube premiere of this episode, we'll reach out to you and send some Dr.Locs your way. What do you think, Chimere? Is that good?
Yes, sure. Wow. Okay. So
Sorry, go ahead.
something that I discussed just now, like in the
in the episode, so that they can be like, were they listening, right?
Yeah. So what was the quote that was said while I was driving to my job that inspired me to create my business?
Love it.
Perfect.
Love it. You could tell them the name of the person that said the quote.
Rashawn Ali. She is she's in Atlanta. She's a radio host. But she's a mom, but for sure, and she's into sports and stuff like that. But her name is Rashawn Ali. Brilliant. Here at the.
I love that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And likewise, we'll do a giveaway too, Brian, right? We promise our viewers, and this is so great. We talked briefly about this, but like, you know, people sometimes might think that, oh, Dr.Locs and Noggin Oil, they're both for locks, so like it's competitive, and this is proof positive. Like, we all have a gift to give, and we all have, part of it is our brand and our own personal integrity to put those products out, or to put that whatever it is we're putting into the universe. And there's enough to go around.
Exactly. Unfortunately, people don't believe that. And it's unfortunate. I wish everyone would understand that, because the thing is, we don't all want the same things.
Exactly.
And so, you know, we might want similar things, but I don't believe in competition. I focus on what I'm focusing on, and not gain friends along the way and stuff. So
yeah. If
Brian,
we help each other, sorry, if we help each other, then the whole industry just improves. And I love
what'd you say?
I just love what you said about a little bit of me in the bottle.
Yeah, because essentially what it is, it's like you put it together, you constructed it, and it's exactly that. And I feel like every service hair provider should be able to do that, you know? So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you want to ask our listeners and viewers to give away some Noggin Oil? What do you think?
Let's see. How about something that we said today during the episode?
Yep. I got you stumped.
I got one.
Okay.
How about, where was it that Chimere and Karen and I met for the first time?
Good one.
Love it. Yep. We know that's a very, very specific answer. So, and not the city. The city was the first one was the city was Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the ones in Atlanta. Yeah.
Your hometown.
It was very
Atlanta. We can't wait to come back.
I love Atlanta. Yeah. I love the beach, so I miss the beach.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the beach. We were talking with other guests, and you know, we're thinking like Loctalk tour, right? We got to go visit all of our guests. Yeah.
We talked to this amazing dude in Mumbai. That was our last guest. Red Indian.
Wow.
So
wow. I thought about a tour, and I'm like, it's just so much I gotta get together, and it's like I want to do other stuff. Like I want to talk, you know, and I think I talked about that with Jocelyn and our friend Nikki, and it's like I have to get solidify my home base here. It's just so much we gotta get organized, and I could just fly later. So
it's coming.
Yes.
Manifestation. It's all about manifestation.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this has been a tremendously interesting episode. And I feel like our viewers and listeners are, you know, they really appreciate hearing hearing the behind the scenes, how people got started either in their lock journey or what inspired them to get where they are now. And that's what this show is all about. And thank you.
Yes, I knew this is going to be a bomb interview, because I was like, you know how we do, and like I just love that's the premise. Like it's not about money. People are like, oh, you can say that, but like really, like when you start making money, it's like money really doesn't make you happy. It makes things a little smoother, but what makes me really happy inside is encouraging other people, inspiring other people. And so that's why I know that's why we share on social media and stuff, so people can be inspired, because they're not alone. We're all one, you know. We just I wish people would see the dopeness inside them. So.
And that reminds me, social media. So you have a new Instagram handle, correct? No?
Yes, I do, but it's like I'm just waiting for my
construction
back. But it's so I skipped over a couple things, but Dr.Locs Studio is what I had last year, and I closed down. So Dr.Locs Studio is our new one, but the hacker, we convinced them to change it back but they can't change it to Dr.Locs, because my brand manager was like, I'm not going to go into detail, but they changed it Dr.Locs A for some reason. And so people can just keep your eye on that one, because I really feel like we're going to have that back. But Dr.Locs Studio is what we have. And my natural hair lady, people can still catch up with me there, because I'm like keeping people in the loop and stuff. So it's a little crazy right now. What about you?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I had to make that decision as well, sort of sit on it and see if Instagram and Facebook was going to reach out to any of my messages, my emails to them. But I've had to rebrand, like not rebrand, but I've had to start over with a new Instagram handle. My client's son, who's very savvy, 19, he's like, get Modlocks _, because then in the search, when people search Modlocks, it'll come up with the underscore automatically. And so that will actually build the algorithm. And so I've done that, Modlocks, and now I say with a new sexy underscore. And, so I'm working on that, and maybe I'll get the original handle back. Who knows?
I think we'll be back, so we'll be talking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, good luck with your manufacturing facility.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Best.
And we should give like a heads up. 2-factor authentication. Okay, people need to do that on their accounts. That was a mistake, a crucial mistake that I made. And so it's very easy. You go into your settings on Instagram or whatever app or whatever platform you're using, find the settings and look for two-factor authentication, and set that up, because that will help to protect you, right?
Absolutely. And change your passwords every quarter at the least. I would say every month, change your password, make it extremely hard to figure out. But you definitely have to change your passwords at least like every quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for a great conversation.
Yes.
Thank you guys for the space.
We'll see you. Oh, and we're going to send you some noggin oil. Yay. All right. So take care, sweetheart. We appreciate you, and we will be in touch.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to another episode of Loctalk. Loctalk. This episode of Loctalk was brought to you by
Noggin Oil, Modlocks, World Hair and Skin.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.